Taoiseach, in response to 300 to 500 jobs at risk at Lufthansa Technik in Shannon, your Minister for Transport announced another task force for Shannon. That comes 12 months after the aviation task force reported, and none of its recommendations have been implemented in the interim. Meanwhile, Taoiseach, we're implementing the digital green cert without the use of antigen testing, and we're an outlier in the European Union in that regard. The Ferguson report by your Chief Medical Officer, the Chief Scientific Advisor to the government that you lead, hasn't even been discussed at NPHET according to their minutes. It was never tabled nor discussed. Meanwhile, tens of millions of euros every month are going to a laboratory for PCR testing, the director of which laboratory sits on NPHET. Taoiseach, who is running this country and for whose benefit?
Thank you, Deputy Taoiseach.
Well, first of all, I think the task force on Shannon was advocated long before the most recent issues in terms of employment. I mean, something was committed to at the formation of government, and it's a wider issue, particularly in the context of developing the entire estuary. We're conscious of the policies in relation to fossil fuels and non-provision of fossil fuel infrastructure. So we want to look at alternative infrastructures that can generate employment and help economic recovery in the Shannon area, particularly offshore wind, for example, and other developments of that kind. So that genuinely is the reason why we're setting up the task force for the Shannon region. And I think it can be helpful as a catalyst for economic recovery in the region, and also projecting ahead to the future. In relation to antigen testing, the Chief Scientific Advisor has, did conclude a report. The majority were in favour of the more widespread use of antigen testing.
Thank you, Taoiseach. Time is up.
Correct in terms of the public health authorities are less
Thank you. Time is up.
By it, but at the same time we are rolling it out in different sectors.
Thank you very much, Deputy Joe Flaherty.
In higher education, there's a pilot project now on.
Deputy Ferguson.